There's no such thing as sight reading. When I was in the 5th grade, the junior high band came to my school and played for us, for all the 5th graders. They were doing a recruitment tour. The beginner band started in the 6th grade, so they came over and played for the 5th graders to try to encourage us to sign up for band the following year. And I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And so the full band played, and then they had individuals from each instrument play solo excerpts to demonstrate each individual instrument. And I really liked the saxophone. I thought it was so cool. And so I went home that day and I told my parents, I said, you have to let me do band next year. I want to play the saxophone. And they were excited about it too. They were encouraging, right? My dad said, yeah, you could, if you practice a lot, you can be in marching band in high school. Now, there's a lot of people out there that think I have something against marching band. I loved being in marching band. I couldn't wait to be in marching band. That was my friend group, right? So I talked about it all the time. I was like, oh God, I can't wait till next year. I'm gonna be in band. I'm gonna learn how to play saxophone, right? I telling all my friends. I was trying to get my friends to do it with me. And so then later in the year, so I'm 10 years old, 11 years old, my friends started getting these letters from the school district that said, your child, and had their name, has demonstrated a strong aptitude toward music through our standardized testing and would be a great candidate for our band program. And it had a list of dates for instrument selection. Bring this letter to try out an instrument on these dates. This letter's your ticket in. But I didn't get a letter. And I started telling my parents, I said, all my friends are getting these letters inviting them to instrument selection to be in band next year. I haven't got a letter. They said, well, sometimes the mail's just slow. It'll probably come. But then it didn't come. But then later, my friends got reminder letters. Don't forget about these dates, right? Bring your letter to try out the instruments. And I was like, well, all right. Well, I guess I won't do it. I guess And my parents said, no. Let's have a meeting at the school. I'm going to call the principal and find out what's going on. And so we go to the school, me and my mom and dad, and we have a meeting with the principal and the band director. And the principal says, well, according to our standardized testing, he doesn't show an aptitude that would allow him to be successful in music, and so we don't recommend him for the band program. And my parents said, well, he really wants to do it. He talks about this all the time. We want him to do it. And the principal said, well, I'll agree to it if the band director signs on. And so the band director, she says, well, I'll agree, but I want to go on record now that he will look back on this later as one of the biggest mistakes of his life, because this is going to be a struggle. It's going to be embarrassment for him. And by having him in the classroom, we're actually going to have to move slower, and so it's going to have a negative effect on the rest of the class, right? And my parents were like, I don't care. He wants to do it. We want him to do it. We're going to do it. And so they begrudgingly allowed me to sign up for band, and I started band in the 6th grade. And then a couple of years later, I was the youngest all-state player in the history of the school district. At the rehearsal in the concert hall, when we were rehearsing with the all-state band, I saw my old band director out in the audience, and I was able to go and reintroduce myself. Then I, of course, got a music degree from UNT, and I've been a professional woodwinds player, saxophone player and music teacher for almost 4 decades. A lot of my students, most of you guys, some of my students you guys have heard before, right? I'm not going to tell you who they are. I don't like to take direct credit for my students' success, but several of my students, most of you have probably heard them. So if you want to do it and they tell you you can't, don't believe them if they say you can't do it. If you want to do it, you can do it. My name is Mark Dooley. I've been a private music teacher for 37 years, focused on practical theory and music literacy. If you'd like to hear more, follow me. If you'd like lessons, contact me. If you can learn how to read words, you can learn how to read music.